So we are here with Miles about to do an interview about the events at Culver Creek Preparatory School.
Yes. Thank you, Walter.
So let's start from the beginning of the story.
Of course. It all began on my first day at college. I met my roommate, the Colonel, a very short and buff dude. I learned very quickly about the weekend warriors at the school and what they are capable of. My first night there, they tied my legs and arm and threw me into a pond. I could have died. I had told the Colonel about everything, and that night he introduced me to the most beautiful girl at that school, Alaska Young. I was very eager to become friends with her and maybe closer, but she had a boyfriend. After many weeks we all became close friends, including Takumi. We had spent several weeks planning on how to get back at the weekend warriors. Many times I had made myself believe that Alaska had grown feelings for me, but she seemed so moody and was always acting different.
So what happened the night of Alaska's death?
I was just about to get there. One night while me, the Colonel, and Alaska were hanging out in her dorm, and the Colonel had an idea that we should play Truth or Dare. After doing some silly dares, the Colonel had fallen asleep and me and Alaska had shared a moment where we kissed. After everyone had fallen asleep, me and the Colonel had been awakened by a phone ringing. Alaska seemed so stressed and complaining about needing to leave, so we had distracted the principal so she could leave. We thought nothing of it. The next morning an assembly was called, and we had been informed that while on the freeway Alaska had crashed and died. Me and the Colonel went crazy looking for explanations. At first we had thought it happened in anger because of a fight with her boyfriend. We realized later, after speaking with an officer who saw the crash, that it may have been suicide because she missed the anniversary of her mother's death.
Is there any events that happened that may have led to her committing suicide?
Yes, actually. Me and Alaska had always thought about this quote. How will we ever get out of this labyrinth of suffering? We had been joking around, had concluded that the best way was straight and fast, a quote she had written down in her journal. Straight and fast explains a lot. At the scene of the crash, the cops had said that it seemed as if Alaska was driving really fast and did not make any attempt at hitting the brakes or swerving out of the way, which had made us all believe that she had simply committed suicide. The cops said that they had found roses in her car and believed she may have been depressed that she missed visiting her mother's grave and have been in a rush and not paying attention to the road.
Wow, that is one of the most depressing stories I have ever heard. How hard has it been to move on ever since her death?
I have never really gotten over it. Every day I think about her and what I could have done to stop it, but then I realize there's not much. What happened happened. I don't regret anything. That was one of the best years of my life and was a real experience I can use in the future. Who do you feel should be the blame for her death? No one can be blamed for it. No one saw it coming and no one could have helped her or stopped her from that crash.
So what do you think is the answer to the quote? How will we ever get out of the labyrinth of suffering?
That same school year I turned in an essay that answered that question. I believe that the only way out is forgiveness. I believe that even though she may not be present on earth, her spirit still exists because her life was too full to ever stop existing.
Well, folks, you know what that means. It's the end of our show. Miles, thank you for sharing this life-changing story with us. I'm sure we will all remember it. Thanks for being here with us today.
Thank you, Walter.
Until next time, everyone. Last time, give a round of applause to Miles Halter, everybody. Good night.